address the issue with puppy nipping. A lot of times what happens when a puppy leaves its litter mates from Lakeshore Doodles is that they're used to playing with their brothers and sisters by nipping and biting and chasing and being more mouthy with each other, because that's what's typical. That is how puppies play with each other. It's normal. It's properly developmental at this age. It is what they should be doing. When a puppy leaves its siblings, when you take it home, that is the most stressful week typically out of most dogs' entire lives, because they do miss their brothers and sisters. We often get asked, won't they miss their mom? At the time you take them home, they've been weaned from their mom. They have not been with them for probably about a week, and they are used to that part, but they're used to sleeping and playing and eating and sharing life with their other siblings. So once you take them into your home, the first thing the puppy's going to do is begin to figure out where they fit into their new pack, into their new litter. And you and your family are their new pack or their new litter of puppies. Most puppies, if we're talking about a family situation with young children, most puppies come into the home and they figure out pretty quickly that mom and dad are the top dogs. You're the ones in charge because you're the ones that bigger with the deeper voices. You're usually the ones that are more firmly correcting the puppy when there's negative behavior. So they learn pretty quickly that they are in the new pack level, that they are underneath the adults in the home. Now, smarter puppies are very quick to figure out which parent may be the softie and, might not be the one to discipline as much. And so puppies sometimes will listen very well to one parent and learn who to take advantage of, just like children do. But in that establishing the pack level, within a few days of arriving at your home, your puppy's going to really be missing playing and fighting and biting and chewing and tugging on ears and tails with their puppy litter mates. So by now they've figured out that I'm underneath the mom and dad in this home, but these little kids running around the house, they pretty quickly come to the understanding that those are their new litter mates. So your puppy that may not have been very nippy for the first few days might all of a sudden change, and yet that might start getting much worse within the first 2, 3, 4 days of being in your family. Knowing this going into it is something that's very beneficial, because there's some things that you can do to prevent the nipping that is typical to take place when they start missing their siblings. They're going to start nipping on your children. So knowing how to take care of that from day one will avoid it getting worse in the long run. So the best thing to do is if this is the puppy's muzzle and the puppy's sitting with your child and he's nipping at your children's hands and just being playful, it's not typically an aggressive or a mean thing. It's just, hey, I've picked you for my sibling. It's more of an honor. You're fun. I want to play with you, and this is the way puppies play. So the big thing to understand is that it is not wrong for puppies to bite or nip. It is wrong for them to bite or nip your children or your teens or the adults. It's in people in general. They should not ever put their teeth or mouth on any part of your body or clothing to tug your pant legs or anything like that. They should learn these boundaries, that that's not okay. What is okay is for you to bite or nip on a rope toy or a stuffed toy or some kind of a bone that the dog has. When you first bring a puppy home, it is best to only have maybe 3 or 4 different toys so that they can differentiate the things that they can chew on from your brand new pair of Nike sneakers or whatever. If you have 10 or 12 toys, that's too many for them to be able to identify as being okay. So having something like a soft rope toy, maybe a stuffed toy, a nylabone, things like that, a couple of different things that they can have to chew on where they can identify it as a fewer number of those toys is more advisable. So what you're going to do if they do start getting nippy is you're going to correct them, and if this is their muzzle, we just take our thumb and our forefinger and put it around their muzzle and just tell them no bite, And then we grab the rope toy and give them a substitute, because this is what you're teaching. You're not teaching necessarily that nipping is wrong. Nipping is fun, it's play, it's something that puppies do, but you're going to make it very clear that nipping people is what's not okay. So you would substitute. You cannot nip my hand, but you may nip this, and you're gonna substitute that. Now, with correcting any type of behavior, it's very, very important that the puppy gets to determine how firm or how often the correction takes place, not you. If, for example, you correct the puppy by giving it a little, we're not doing this hard at all, you're not causing any pain for the puppy, you're just going to no nip, give a little firm squeeze there, and substitute it. If you have a puppy that's more challenging, and when you do that, they let go and they come back and nip you again, they've just told you very clearly that that correction was not enough. They're still challenging you. They want to be the one that is making the rules in your household. And that is something that you have to make clear the very first week that you get the puppy home. That, oh no, this isn't going to work. So if you do get a puppy who ends up doing something like that, and it may be 100% play, but they still need to learn that it's not okay, you're going to correct them again, firmer and a little longer, and again give them something else. When they take the substitutionary toy, praise them like crazy so they know they just did something that pleased you tremendously. But that correction will continue until the puppy responds in the right way. If he continues to challenge you, you're going to continue to say, no, buddy, I'm going to win this, not you. You chew on this, not me. And you're going to continue that. And that correction can get firmer and longer until the puppy finally has the right solution where he says, oh, okay, I've got this now. And then you always end with a tremendous amount of praise. This is going to help deter the puppy from starting to chase your kids and nipping at their legs and putting marks on their arms, to the point where your children are frustrated and no longer think the puppy is something fun to play with. Children that are old enough to understand how to correct the puppy in a loving, kind manner and not to cause pain for the puppy or harm the puppy by doing corrections should absolutely be brought in on the correction process. Goldendoodles are very intelligent, and it's not unusual if mom and dad are the only ones correcting the puppy for them to learn that they have to behave when mom and dad are in the room. But if they're not, all bets are off, because we've learned that these kids have no way to correct me, which means as the puppy, I am in charge of these two, and that you want to avoid that. So most children that you feel are responsible and can do it properly, you can teach them to do the same correction with a substitution toy so that that puppy knows that it's never okay to put teeth on a human being.